There are so many things which haunt in unreconciled and inchoate forms inside me, and I don't have anybody to talk to. I then turn to poetry. I read it, I write it. Answers might not be available, but I get a lamp. I do get away. This is Sunil Bhandari, and you are listening to Uncut Poetry. Let me sit beside you quietly. Let me sit beside you quietly. I will not ask you to explain. I can see you coiled inside, and I will untangle you softly. I will draw the curtains in myself, so no light disturbs your grief, and I will sit beside you in the hush of your sorrow. No answers, no haste, only stillness and breath shared. A colleague committed suicide the other day, 7 a.m. He woke up early, took a bath, did his puja, and then hung himself from a fan. His wife discovered him when she didn't see him in the puja ghar. I'd met him the day before getting into office and asked him how he was doing. He was cheerful. I asked him to drop by for a cup of coffee. Another colleague did 2 meetings with him. Another one said goodbye to him at 7 in the evening. Just another ordinary day. Last year his wife had come to me with their son and talked of how there was something which had snapped inside him. He wanted to resign. There was immense pressure, and he had an unsympathetic and cruel boss who went unrelentingly after him. It was often ugly, and the pressure was getting to him, and he was doing frightened office talk even in his sleep. I and my HR colleague got him aligned with a good psychiatrist, and in a few months he was as near normal as possible. Till today. Do we all have breaking points? However strong we might think we are, that point where our heart breaks and our mind splits, and a strange duality emerges of moving ordinarily in an ordinary day, but carrying a soul in turmoil. Didn't this colleague have anybody he could talk to with full vulnerability, unfettered by judgment? What was that last thought before he took that decisive step? Didn't he think of the wreckage he would leave behind? Is suicide then intrinsically a sad amalgam of despair and selfishness? But more than anything, I'm angry at bosses who let go without constraint on hapless subordinates, without the sensitivity of the overwhelming effect their position has on those whose livelihood depends on them. I only wish I had stopped for that coffee when I had met him. Maybe he would have opened up. Maybe things would have been different. The poem again. Let me sit beside you quietly. I will not ask you to explain. I can see you coiled inside, and I will untangle you softly. I will draw the curtains in myself, so no light disturbs your grief, and I will sit beside you in the hush of your sorrow. No answers, no haste, only stillness and breath shared. This is Sunil Bhandari, and you are listening to Uncut Poetry. If you enjoyed this poem, rate it on Spotify or leave a comment on Apple Podcast. And I have a lovely newsletter called The Uncuts, which is like a Sunday dollop of warmth and fun and beauty. Subscribe to it. The link is in the show notes. And if you loved this episode, please do share it with someone you love. See you next week.